Welcome to Draw My Life Part 2. If you haven't watched the last video, I kindly ask you to do that now because otherwise you will probably not understand anything. So, what are you doing here? You should go watch it. So I will give you a few seconds to go back to the video. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1 and let's go. So after my stress fracture, I started going to the gym and it was really hard in the beginning, but after a while I kind of started getting a hang of it and I got kind of good at it actually. I started eating more, but it was a very slow process recovering from the eating disorder because I did everything by myself and it was like ups and downs, but I think it was good for me in the end to have taken it in my own pace. What I knew was that I had fallen in love with running and I was willing to face my biggest fear to get back to running, which was eating. At the time where I could start running again, I was in the 9th grade of elementary school in Sweden, which is kind of when you take a lot of decisions because after that year you will choose the path of your life basically because you will choose like direction in the next school. We had this sort of counseling hour with a lady that was going to help us make the decision, and when it was time for my counseling hour, I just went into the room and I told her straight up that I wanted to do the best program of science in the best school, and I was like sure what I was going to do. It took like 90 seconds before I was on my way out again and I had all my life set. Or did I? It almost felt like there was an instinct that hit that made me think like that I wanted to do something with sports and running in school too. So I turned around and told her that I would like to do something with sports and running. And she sat me down and she said that there were a few options with running and it was firstly orienteering, or other than that there's track that you can do. And I was like, no way I'm doing track because like you just run around in circles. What a stupid sport. Well, how the tables turn. That changed very quickly if you ask me. She said that there was a test training with the orienteering school just in a couple of days and that I could sign up for that. So without hesitation, I took it and I went there. I had only done orienteering like twice in school before, and orienteering is like when you read a map and stuff, so that's kind of complicated stuff. So I went there without a compass, just in my normal shoes, and people were like, what is going on? Like, she doesn't look like an orienteer, but they let me join anyway. I just started warming up with the other orienteers, and little did I know that they were the top orienteers from all over the country that came here just for this. And when we came to the training, we were going to do this kind of relay, and I saw that everyone stood around with compasses. So I asked the coach, like, do you need a compass to do this orienteering? Or like, could I borrow one in that case? Or like, how do I do? Because I don't have a compass. And he was probably wondering a lot and like questioning what we're doing, what I'm doing here. And he was like, what the fuck is going on? But he gave me a compass and I had no idea what to do with it. But anyway, the training started and the only thing I could do was just run with them. And I just tried to keep everything together. I honestly probably had second thoughts here and I was like, what is going on? I was not prepared for this. Like, these people are so fast and I'm just here. But I didn't doubt myself too much, honestly. I just ran. And I went into the forest with my normal running shoes. Important to know is that it's nearly impossible to run orienteering with normal orienteering shoes. I didn't know anything about the map. So in pure adrenaline, I just ran with the first person that I saw. And I just kept with that person and ran for my life, basically. I didn't read the map at all the first round, and when we came to this kind of lap place where we got a new map and the coaches were there, and one of the coaches screamed after us, it is gafflat, like in Swedish, and I had no idea what that meant, but I used my logic thinking, and gaffel means fork, which means gafflat, which is a fork, which looks like this, which means that probably we have different courses, which stressed me out because I understood that they were onto me and they probably knew what I was doing, and I started reading the map myself, which led to me like not knowing where I was, and I was out for probably 2 hours and people started getting really worried and they were like a little bit concerned. But when I came back, I just sat in the car and I was just sitting there like disappointed in myself. Like, why did I do this? I didn't know what I was getting into, seeing the rain pour down. But then one coach knocked on the window and asked me to just come into the school just to see what it was about. And I got some hope. I don't know why I did it, but I went into the school. And to make a really, really long story very short, I got approved and I got into the orienteering school. So I started orienteering, I learned how to use the compass, I competed in some competitions, and I always finished the course no matter how bad it went. So I was always deep down in the result list and I did really, really bad at times, but that didn't stop me. And to summer up the 4 years that I was there, I really had the time of my life and I really loved it. And I am so happy that I got in and that I just really loved it. And it's also a really crazy story how just fate dragged me into it, because there were so many opportunities for me to not get in and not do that orienteering school for 4 years, but fate just dragged me into it and I'm really thankful for that. But I mean, I don't know how it happened, but honestly, I have a theory that because I told everyone in the orienteering world and got into the newspaper and stuff, I think that the coaches saw it and they were like, shit, we have to take her in, don't we? Anyways, it was the best years I could possibly wish for during my 4 gymnasium years. And once again, I'm infinitely thankful that fate just dragged me into this. No matter what it was, crazy thing, honestly, but I loved it. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of Draw My Life. I hope you stay around for the next episode that probably comes out next week. Subscribe.